balloons, latex balloons, ribbons, bags, everything made in China.
Two of the most powerful people in the world are in an ego battle. Rhetoric, grandstanding, and a trade war has emerged to add to world agonies. China and the United States are at it. Donald Trump versus Xi Jinping, the symbol of capitalism against the emblem of communism. Not really. In the 21st century, both superpowers seem to be trying to get on the most viral of trends, tariffs.
We would love to be able to work a deal. They've really taken advantage of our country for a long period of time. They've ripped us off beyond nobody.
It's nothing new, but it's also nothing useful. Even as the US president gave relief to others with a 90-day pause excluding the baseline 10%, China was hit harder. Beijing has countered Washington with its own hike in tariff that seemed to have only provoked Trump. The thing is, while the US seems to be banking on tariff duties on imports, surprisingly China has more weapons in its arsenal than the biggest arm manufacturer of the world. Xi Jinping has played his hand surprisingly well. Once again, China's Customs Tariff Commission has called Trump's move a mistake upon another mistake. It is geopolitical poker now. Trump has played his hand. Now Xi may be bluffing, or is he?
中方的立场是明确一贯的，谈大门敞开，但对话必须在相互尊重的基础上。
China imports goods worth around $160 billion from the US. Sounds huge, right? Well, on the other side of the world, the American imports mount up to a whopping $400 billion. But here's where Xi has an ace up his sleeve. China can hit Trump where it hurts his voter base, simply by imposing tariffs on US agriculture products. Consider Trump's first term. In 2018 too, the US president had waded into a tariff war. At the time, Beijing's retaliatory 25% tariffs on US agriculture goods had led to massive 75% fall in US exports of soybeans to China. There is of course Hollywood. China is a massive consumer of the US entertainment industry. Who would object in communist China if Xi decided to ban US movies, shows and songs just on a whim? That's what a dictatorship gets you, by the way.
I have great respect for President Xi. He's been, in a true sense, he's been a friend of mine for a long period of time. And I think that we'll end up working out something that's very good for both countries. I look forward to it.
Mr. President, China retaliated today by reducing the number of American films that can be shown there. What's your reaction to them now targeting cultural exports from the United States?
I think I've heard of worse things.
104%, 125%, or whatever magical number you can think of, the dragon simply doesn't care. In a world of diplomatic parlays and geopolitical brownie points, Xi Jinping's China remains the outliner. While sitting at the highest table in the world order, few dare question China. When we say magic tariff number, we also would like to remind you of a simple equation. Dictatorship plus notional civil rights equals high productivity. This math is only true when all other conditions are right. So threatening China with a trade war only works when all conditions are right. In response to Trump's threat, Xi has raised the stakes. In the modern world of corporate business and governance, one of China's greatest strengths gets lost in the balance sheet.
So the market is concerned that the trade war between the world's two largest economy powers, the US and China, will cause the global economy to fall into recession. This is real concern.
In 2001, it was an agreement with the US itself that paved the way for China's entry into the World Trade Organization. Since then, the two have clashed over a variety of issues, from dumping to intellectual property infringements. The ability to copy anything and everything at much cheaper cost. With intellectual property rights in focus and global order as the catalyst, China has officially stopped cheating, at least to an extent. The so-called communist behemoth just across the Himalayas can copy anything. iPhones, check. AK series assault rifles, check. Attack and recon drones, check. From Nokia rip-offs to artificial rain, China seemingly can make anything.
That 10% tariff rate is still going to bite. The Yale University Budget Lab estimates it could cost an average US household more than $4,000 over the course of a year. On top of that, the administration clarified that its original increase to 125% tariff rates on China happens in fact to be 145%. We're talking about a showdown between the world's two largest economies. Both are going to be able to inflict pain on each other, as China has put an 84% tariff rate on US goods.
In an event where US goods become more and more expensive without relief in sight, China will simply start copy-pasting designs. With the quality of these products remain questionable, the real is usually considered better. There is no questioning the cost effectiveness of flooding a market with cheaper products. Interestingly enough, China was ready with a white paper for intellectual rights. Xi Jinping State Council has new regulation for cases where IP laws are being used for so-called containment and suppression of Chinese entities. To put it simply, China has said that domestic entities facing legal actions over IP infringements abroad will have to comply with Chinese laws. To quote the regulation, if any other nation uses intellectual property disputes as an excuse to contain and suppress China, takes discriminatory restrictive measures against Chinese citizens and organizations, and interferes in internal affairs, Beijing can take countermeasures. So has China just rewritten the rules for itself and now aims to disregard international trade and IP laws? China ka Maal became an almost derogatory term across India. They are cheaper than the originals, and as this saying goes, agar chal gaya to chal gaya. If it works, it works. India and China may be many things: neighbors, enemies, competitors, but also trade partners. China ka Maal falls right into the Indian philosophy of jugaad. With how the circumstances are shaping up, Beijing is making interesting moves. They're trying to pull India into the equation. Even as others talk about pulling the tariff trigger, New Delhi is watching. In hunting grounds of global diplomacy, the non-aligned doctrine of India is like a predator stalking its prey, waiting for its chance to strike. Except the strike is a new deal, and the chance may emerge for either blocs, China or America.